This on my sketchbook is about 20 times 20 centimeters. We're gonna start to paint the mountains in the background using the blue and purple color. Here I'm starting with the bluish, a very watered down version of the paints. You could use something like Payne's Gray or another misty bluish lilac color. And I'm working in some darker paint, not filling too much. And even a bit darker. And I'm working on this paper that's only 20 by 20 centimeters. I'm sorry for any noises in the background. There are dogs barking and my coffee is going on there, and I have a dog and he maybe bark at some point if there's people outside. So I'm just filling in a little bit on the background mountains, going a bit darker every time, making some ridges and not too much details because it's gonna be far away in the distance. But remember, everything dries lighter, so it may seem dark, but it's gonna dry about 25% lighter than what it looks when it's wet. And all this is made in real time, nothing is sped up, but I have taken out the parts where I refill the brush with new paint, or some parts when I clean the brush, because it saves some video time. And here I'm just adding some water and dabbing off some paint and water to not get a line at the bottom of the mountains. And here I'm adding some white acrylic ink, just a little bit. And in the end it didn't show up that much, so you can skip this step if you want to. Now we're starting on the background trees. I'm still using the same flat brush as I did before. And you can use whatever flat brush you have. And now I'm adding water on the bottom edge to soften it, and so we don't get a hard edge. Because we want this sort of misty effect. So more water. And dab off if we got too much. And here I'm dragging it up to get this misty feel. And now the smaller rigger brush to do some far away tree lines. Just drag the brush upwards in small motions. And you can vary the amount of paint you've got on your brush. If you want it a bit softer, you use less paint, and a little bit more paint if you want it to stand out a bit. Variation is good. Now you can probably hear my coffee going on in the background. Okay, I haven't edited out all the times I take new paint and water. It's just to save time, and it's not fun to watch a blank page. And I'm just making a few kind of branches, and now I'm going back with a bit of darker color, and I have mixed the green that I'm using is olive green from Daniel Smith, and I'm mixing it with the blue paint from Daniel Smith that I showed you previous. And with that you can get really light to very dark greenish colors. And here you see I'm going in even darker. More paint and more water on my brush. And it's still in the distance, so the details is not that specific. Just do some zigzag motions with your brush. And I'm sorry for it almost being outside of the picture. This is just clean water and dragging it with some paint to get some feel of snow and landscape. And as you can see, now I have even more paint than water on my brush. And where I've already wet the paper, you get this gorgeous flow of the paint that I like really much. I don't have a script for this, so if I say something strange, it's because I'm just winging it. Hope it will be fine anyway. I'm just doing some straight up trees, like a spruce, I don't know what it's called, spruce trees. And doing a zigzag motion and making sure that not every tree is the same height or the same width or with the same structure of the branches. Variation is very important, both in color and in the structure of the trees. And as you can see, I'm going darker and darker on the way forward in the painting. So the closer I get to the bottom of the page, the darker the color is and more saturated with the pigment and less water. And I know some of you may think I should do this in Swedish, which is my language. I'm from Sweden. But I think it's better to do it in English because more people can understand and join in the fun of painting watercolor. And if you feel that this is going too fast for you, you can always just pause the video, paint your trees, go back, watch it again, and so forth. So you can do it in your own pace, and you don't even have to do it exactly as I do it. You can change up your landscape. And if you do paint this, I would be thrilled to see it. So please tag me on Instagram if you post it there. my name there is Line Cone. I will write it in the description. It would be so fun to see all of your projects. So please share. And here you saw me going in with water first, small strokes of water, and then some pigment in a very loose fashion. And this is making the snow stand out. You need some contrast. And you also have shadows in the snow, which will make the snow show up even better.